Hello and welcome to the Minecraft Advent Calendar of 2019 with me, Felonious the Wizard. We are going to make the calendar. We are doing this backwards, so to speak. We start with putting up a hatch and then we'll go and build what's inside that one. And it's all about wish lists. Probably you can always tell by the title of the video in question. So we start with building the first one, and it should be here according to plan, and we move that one, and this is how I do it. Hold it. Remove that one, and we take the maps that are accordingly. So you can see the start of the next part. So there we have number 1. This is hatch number 1, and there, hatch number 1 is ready. Let's build the wish list. Okay, time to build the first one, and that is also with a story, of course. Let's see. First we need some blocks. Should I? Yes, I should probably have colored blocks, and I don't know if I'm... Yeah, let's do these. And one of... No, not that one. No. We start with this. That's a good thing. And we will have... Well... Yeah. I'm thinking about white or grey. Let's take grey. Right. Now, the thing is, I have been building a lot of aircrafts in plastic model kits. That's one of my favorite things to do when I do it. Now let's see, is this the middle? Oh yes, it is. That's what I normally think of as a hobby. And of course, when it comes to wish lists, it is of course also the biggest thing that I wish every time when I was a kid. Coal block, thank you. And we need also an iron fence. There, iron bars, thank you. That was and is more or less still what I like to do. Now let's see, we do this, we do this. I think that should be fine. Let's start with... Is this too far forward? Might be. Then if it is, then we will move it backwards later on. Yeah, it's probably. But I need to have it all. Now I'm going to build it as some sort of aircraft. You can see that already. And the story is simple. There is, or well, I think there still is, a company called Airfix. Yes, it is. And that company also issued catalogs, of course, because they wanted to show people what they were having, building, and so on. And that's good. I usually bought those catalogs. Yes, you had to buy them. And I thought, well, it's a good thing just to make sure that I get what I want. And I can see which type of aircrafts do I want. No, that's not good. What type of aircraft do I want? What type of model kits do I want? At one point... At one point there was a big, I mean really big aircraft, It was a Supermarine Spitfire in scale 1 to 24. And I was thinking, well, I want that. I really want that. This might have been 70 or 71, so it was some time ago. And of course, I wished that I would get money enough to buy it myself. Mainly because I knew that my father didn't have the money to do it. We were pretty poor back then, and well, you didn't really want the family to suffer because you wanted something great big stuff. So you didn't. You didn't wish for it, you didn't get it. Now normally that wasn't a big deal for me, so yeah, it was fine. Sometimes you got what you want, sometimes you don't. That is how it is. Nevertheless, I thought that it would be a very good thing to have that one. That particular one. So, yeah. Oh, you can't really see them, can I? No. So I didn't wish for it that year, but the year after I thought, well, what the heck, let's put this Spitfire up for grabs. Let's see what it might actually be. This time it might actually be my turn. That said, I wasn't really thinking that I would get it. I just, well, yeah, I hoped. And of course, it came to be Christmas, and there were two really large presents for me and my little brother. And they looked exactly the same, which actually made me think, what? Are we getting the same type of clothes, or what's this now then? But nevertheless, I opened my first, and that perhaps was my first mistake, because I saw inside there was my Spitfire. And yeah, I was really excited about that one. I mean, I had no idea that I was going to get it. I knew nothing what my thoughts, what my father's thoughts were according to that. But I got it. I really got it. And I was so excited. However, at the same factory, they also had another model kit. But that wasn't the Spitfire. That was the Messerschmitt BF 109 Mark E. And when my brother opened his present, it was the Messerschmitt. Now, my brother wasn't that into model kits, and if it should be, it should have been at least a car or a motorcycle or anything. So when he opened up and saw an airplane, and not the airplane that he would love to have, because that would be, yeah, you guessed it, the Spitfire, he got the Messerschmitt. He did not like that. Not at all. Normally, between us brothers, it would have been easy. Just fixing it with, let's say, changing. We could trade. We could always trade. But this time, I refused. I totally refused, because I had got what I wanted for the first time in my life that I could remember. I would probably have had other stuff before that, but that wasn't something that I would remember now, so never mind that. So my brother, of course, went, well, he wasn't pleased. He was not pleased at all. So, yeah, I built mine, and I was so excited with it and all that. But my brother waited. He waited some time before he decided to build his. Now, he built it and it became perfectly fine. I'm not saying anything else. And the thing is that the story could have ended there, actually, but it didn't. Years has passed. First of all, I had to throw all my plastic models away, more or less, I should say. It was time to do that, move on, you know, all that. That's the first thing. So, among others, because these 1 to 24 models, they are big. Believe me, they are big. That one went, among other stuff, that I, not now thinking back on it, I regret doing, actually. But still, I did it. They're gone. Nothing to do about it. That's the first thing. Second of all, my brother died in 2011. And I had, of course, to go through all his stuff. Not that funny, I can tell you that much. It was not that funny. But you should really think of my surprise when suddenly I find among his stuff an unfinished model of the Spitfire, Supermarine Spitfire Mark 1B in scale 1 to 24. He had, at one time, I don't know when, where, he had one time suddenly decided that he would want that plane for himself, because he didn't get it that time. He had, for some reason, decided that it was time. Now, he was very, very ill when he died, so no, he couldn't build it himself, he couldn't do anything himself with it. So, yeah, it just sat there. He had started to build, he had started to paint, and now suddenly I inherit this model and I throw my own one away. And believe me, just saying that really it doesn't feel good to just mention it. And now suddenly I got the new one back, so to speak. Yeah. I'm not totally sure what I'm going to say about that, but that was what suddenly happened. Now I have remodeled that one. I have built his model. I have made all the things that he wanted to do, but I did not repaint the things that he had painted. Whoops. I did not do anything. Everything that he had done, he had painted the engine and built the engine. He had reassembled the pilot and painted the pilot. Not good, but according to what he could do when he was ill, I thought that should be enough. So this first advent, I'm thinking about my brother. I'm thinking about the Spitfire in 1 to 24 scale, and in many cases this was the first number one on my list that I ever got. I have gotten since, but it feels like this was the first of any value. In order to remember that it is the first of Advent, it's also a sort of day for me to remember things that has gone by. I'm now going to light the first candle of my it's a pig, actually, it's a pig, my first Advent light, and by that we start the climb towards Christmas, first of Advent. And all I can say is thank you for watching and bye.